Good guys, my name is Lord Tomo. Welcome again to another Sonic the Hedgehog toy item collector review. As you know, I'm Lord Tomo, the good old blue steel Sonic the Hedgehog. He's a French hedgehog now. Stick with it. So it is a new year, of course, and I haven't done a review as of yet, and I figured I might as well do one. I do have hundreds of separate items to review, and I will be getting through them, of course. As to why I'm delaying my reviews, that's a different story for another video, to say the least. But it is pretty much a story within itself. But let's get into it. This is a Sonic the Hedgehog by Art Puzzle. It is a puzzle. It is definitely a puzzle, and it is a very obscure item to be reviewing, of course. Now, as you would imagine, getting into collecting Sonic the Hedgehog, or any items really, if you think about it, but predominantly Sonic the Hedgehog stuff, you come across the same figures, the same poses, the same images, etc., etc., especially in the newer Sonic the Hedgehog items, which is to be expected. It happens, of course. That's why I like to collect pieces. I was about to say pictures. That's why I like to collect pieces that are pretty unique, pretty offbeat, pretty special in how it displays my all-time favorite character, or one of, Sonic the Hedgehog. In this case, it is both Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails, or Tails Mars Proud. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. Before I discuss the actual picture itself and the bunch of blur which is down here, I just need to go through the pretty much the outside of the box and tell you what's inside. It's not a whole lot. I haven't built this puzzle. I have built it, but I haven't displayed it. So so this image that you see is exactly the same as the puzzle. I'll actually show you that first, just to get that out of the way. So if you look inside it, it's literally a puzzle. It's what you would expect in a puzzle. So it's nothing too fascinating in that regards. It's pretty much you connect everything, and there's Sonic Eye. We have blown him up to, wait for it, pieces. A horrible pun, that is. But yeah, it's literally just a puzzle. So I'm not going to go too much on the puzzle itself, the insides, because it's literally just a picture here. But I will explain just the box art itself, because I think that's personally fascinating. Actually, at the actual back, it's completely blank, completely nothing. On the actual side, it says Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, and it has obligatory information there. I would imagine that's Japanese, saying a bunch of things. The creator, I would imagine, is Art Puzzle, and it's 300 pieces, number 300, I think, and it's just basically tells you the dimensions of the actual puzzle itself, which is 38 by 53 centimeters. Pretty big puzzle, and it's by the creation of artbox, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, artbox, that's what it says. On the actual side, it's exactly the same. On the other side, it's exactly the same. And of course, on the other two sides, it's exactly the same. So pretty much, it's all the same. Now, straight off the bat, what I really love about this is it's completely unique and completely different to what it is in modern Sonic the Hedgehog merchandising and all that sort of stuff. With modern stuff, for example, modern Sonic stuff, you always had the same, I'm not saying bland, but it does become monotonous. You do have the same, art design where it's like Sonic in the standard pose. You have Tails maybe in the standard pose, and you just have the standard bluish green hill sort of display piece, which is, it is what it is. It's just to pay homage to the original so people can buy the products. I totally get that, totally understand it. But for someone who has so much Sonic the Hedgehog stuff, it becomes boring. It truly does. So you can imagine from my point of view, when I saw this item, when I saw this item, I was blown away simply by everything, really. So the predominant colors is mostly red and white, as you can see from the borders as well as from the inside, which I think adds a level of uniqueness. And you have this kind of like bloodshot, design, which I think adds a level of badassery. Badassery? Is that even a word? I've made a word, probably not. But it does give it a unique, kind of I don't know. I want to say it kind of gives it kind of like a bloodlust sort of look to it, but it actually doesn't. It actually gives a kind of a streak-like badass aspect to it, which I think is phenomenal. You do have these occasional blue squares, which I don't know why they would add that. I've never seen any older designs like that. I do know, for example, the older Sonic the Hedgehog games in Japan and Korea, for example, their box art is completely different to what we had in the US and Australia and Europe, which I think is awesome. But the fact that they have these sort of designs, which I think is awesome. At the far corner here, you do have a little picture of Sonic the Hedgehog in its traditional form, and you have obligatory Japanese stuff out there. Straight on the bat, I will talk to the main stuff. In Japan in particular, for whatever reason, I think they wanted to promote both the company and the actual mascot itself, so they would all, most of the Japanese stuff, the older stuff anyway, would always say Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, or something of that caliber. So it would always say Sega, which is obviously the company, and Sonic the Hedgehog, which is what it is. It has this weird little emblem. I have no idea where they have it. It adds character to it, but it's completely off-putting. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so if you see some old Japanese stuff, or if you want to search for old Japanese Sonic memorabilia, I was putting, for example, Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, because you tend to find a lot of Japanese stuff tends to have that, from my experience anyway. Of course, you have the classic Sonic the Hedgehog there, which looks absolutely adorable. He has headsets there, and you have towers, very adorable towers, riding what is a Formula 1 car, which is so... Well, I'm just going to leave it there. So if you want to pause it, I'll just pause it here. If you want to pause it here, I read the blur down there, and just look at the fine, beautiful art that is this image, which is so awesome. I'm probably going to build the puzzle and just put it into like a display cabinet, not a display cabinet, kind of like a portrait, so I can have it on my wall, which I think is awesome. So you can see the finer detail. It kind of has this non-2D-ish sort of vibe to it. It kind of gives it a 3D-esque based on the paints that it uses, or the coloring that it uses. And I don't know if this is a 3D mode. I don't think it's 3D mode. I think it's just a 2D coloring mold that gives it a 3D-esque look to it, which I think is phenomenal. I do love the logo, which is of course Sega Sonic the Classic. I don't know if it's number 3. I don't know. I doubt this is promoting Sonic the Hedgehog 3, simply because you would have a picture of Knuckles the Echidna. But of course you have Sonic. I don't know, he's a pretty self-centered individual, and you have Tails up there, and you have Sonic up there. This image in its entirety is absolutely beautiful. To have this in my collection is one of the high points of me collecting anything relating to Sonic the Hedgehog, simply because it's unique. It's definitely something not people can do. Now over here, you can pause it here if you want to read it, but it simply reads, for those who can't be bothered, it's an obscure blur of text, but I'll read it out. To live a life of power, you must have faith that what you believe in is right, even if others tell you others tell you are wrong. The first thing you must do is live life of power is to find courage. You must be ready to reach beyond the boundaries of time itself, and to do that, all you need is the will to take that first step. Very inspirational, very Sonic-esque, something that Sonic the Hedgehog would do. So he wouldn't say it, it's a philosophy he tends to live by. If you notice with a lot of philosophical stuff that Sonic the Hedgehog tends to do, it tends to reflect a lot of the stuff that is tend to be written. Now, would you ever imagine Sonic the Hedgehog ever say this? Ever? Let's be 100% frank here. No, you wouldn't. Of course not. But does he embody that message? Of course he does. He's always out there trying to take that extra step, which is pretty harmonious to the whole fact that he's a speedster, of course. But overall, it is a phenomenal piece. If you can always get your hands on this, definitely do. When I first saw it, I picked it up. I've never seen another piece like this. I don't even know if this comes in a set. I'm pretty sure I got this from a Japanese website, Yahoo Japan, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I think I purchased roughly about for $40-50. I think it's money well spent, to be honest. It's definitely something I would enjoy. Is rarity? Look, it's hard to say. Is puzzles something that people collect? I don't know. Especially in the Sonic community, I don't know. Would I collect it? Obviously I have, because it is what it is. So I'll be fair, half and half, 5 stars out of 10 rarity. So it is what it is. But look, guys, let me know if you think this puzzle is pretty badass. I genuinely love this puzzle. In terms of building, of course, I've never been a real hardcore puzzle person, but especially for the art, to say the least. Anyway, guys, thank you for checking out this review. Of course, I will be doing more reviews down the track. I'll probably do an update, of course, as to why my reviews tend to be lacklusting in terms of postage, and it has nothing to do with you guys. It's got everything to do with the fact that I'm surely moving into my new house in the next 2 months, which is going to change everything. The lighting, the audio, and just new things I'm going to add to my channel. But anyway, that's another video for another time. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Take care, speed on, till next time.